Today we're going to paint a radish, and I'm double loading my number 10 flat brush with foliage green, evergreen. These are Deco Art Americana colors, and we're gonna, I don't know if you can see the leaf pattern there, but it's there. I'm gonna come up, some are in the background, I'm gonna do those first, and just wiggle in some leaves. Making them elongated and jaggedy. These back ones will be back here. Okay, and then I'll do some, let me see, this is going to come up from this radish here and overlap those leaves. I got a little bit too much on my edge. Okay. Alright. Not sure if it needs a little bit, another leaf here. Well, there's a leaf coming up from this one. There's one underneath. I'll do that one first. And then this one will go over top of that one. And load more. There we go. And I think that's plenty of leaves. Maybe I'll do another little one right along here. Less light green, more dark green. I'm getting it too heavy on my brush, so I gotta work it out. There we go. Okay, and there's your leaves for the radishes. I will change brushes and come back and do the radish. Now I've undercoated with a berry wine. Berry wine is the folk art color. Cranberry wine is the Americana color. And I just filled it in basically like you would a coloring book with the color. And now we're going to come back with a brighter red. I think I'll try alizarin crimson. Now, like I said before, reds aren't very opaque, so sometimes it takes a bit. And I'm just going to see how well that red's going to take. I think it's going to do well. Okay, so I will let that dry just a little bit. Let it dry, and then I will come back. I'm going to get a dark red on my palette so that I can use it to shadow as I do a stroke. And so we'll let this dry. This was alizarin crimson on top of berry wine. And now I'm going to go and get a very dark red to shadow with. The deep red that I got on my palette here is called Burnt Carmine. It is a folk art color. It is a artist pigment, so it's very, very thick. Thicker than most bottle acrylics. And you just need a touch on the corner of your brush. And then we're just going to go along this one side to shadow it. And then we'll make a little divot for where that stem of the leaf would have come in. And you can take it down the edge. Be careful because it's a tiny space there. And then we'll do the same on this one. And coming up there. And just shadow that side. And with the corner of your brush, just with the alizarin crimson, you can kind of fill in some more in here. And then now we'll go get a color to highlight the other side. It's not completely dry yet. Typically I would let it dry because when you go back in, you'll many times lift the paint. Now this I am going to highlight with this is called Primary Red in a Deco Art Americana. You can see the difference in the colors. It looks a bit more orange against alizarin crimson. Now with reds, you don't want to highlight with white because you will then get pink. unless we can, once it dries, we will do the little touch highlight, which I'll show you, with some white, but it's got to be dry. So we'll highlight along here, kind of blend it in as best as you can. And it just gives that side a brightness. Now you don't have to do that on that side if you don't want to. Just the shadowing on the one side should be enough for dimension, but sometimes it's nice to play with it a bit. I see my divot over there is not quite what I wanted it to be, so I will fix it. Okay, I'm going to let it dry and then come back with the white highlight and the root. Now I'm going to put in the little bit of touch of white highlight. I've dried it mostly with a blow dryer, and I probably got too much on my brush. This is a number 6 flat brush, and I'm just going to run along the edge of the root, come up like that, and do a little comma stroke to give it the little, you got that little gloppy there, but that runs along there. And there you have your radish.